Hey friends, it's ChappyPlans. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be flipping through both of my Hobonichi planners, so if you'd like to see them, stick around. What's up friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thank you for being here. I'm going to flip through my Hobonichi Weeks and Hobonichi Cousin planners and just kind of review with you the month of June. So let's jump in to the cute little weeks planner I have here. So the monthly view, I always use the Hobonichi Weeks kits. And just to give you a side-by-side, here is the monthly view of the cousin. So I think that's kind of a fun thing to take a peek at. I tend to update this one more, which is why it looks a little busier, and this one a little bit less. I set this up at the beginning of every month, but then I just tend to write in the weeklies or at the year at a glance section, which is always a hot mess up here. So anyways, back to my weeks. It did get a little wet, so it kind of got warped there. Going into June. So the first week of June here, I used a kit from Audrey Okia. I love her designs. I wish she had more stickers because I think I've gotten just about all of them at this point. And I've gone through a lot of the stash. So Audrey, if you're watching, make more designs, please. I'm greedy. So clearly I use this one. To me, this is a pretty well-used week. Sometimes I write in this and then I don't really reference it. But as summer is approaching, or well, summer's here, it's a little bit of a slower pace for me, so maybe it will be written in a little less. We'll see. This week I didn't even use this section. I actually really haven't been using it to keep track of my media, so I might stop doing this. It's something to think about. These stickers, by the way, are from Laurel Denise. I have tons of them. They're really, really fun, and I absolutely love them. This was the Day to Night Coffee Monster Co. kit. This was me testing Linda's fountain pens when we got together for my Planner Bestie meetup with Jen and Linda. Linda Loves Creating and Jen Boom Creates. And then this section actually pretty well used also. I needed to keep track of, it was really great for me to keep track of all the teacher gifts, especially because we did a really extensive end of the year gift for Nora's main teacher, and I needed to make sure I got all the gift cards to make if you give your teacher a cookie. And so I had to write all those down and then keep track of all of them, which was very helpful. That is what I use most of this for. And then the last week that's going into July, you can see I use this quite a bit, but you can tell I'm not using this media section for media at all. So, I think I need to stop doing that. Maybe there's other uses I can come up with for this side of the planner. All right, going into my cousin, we had talked about the monthly view, which is where I put all of our appointments and events, vacations, things like that. Then I will use the monthly view to dictate how my weekly view looks. So going to June here. Oh wait, that's the daily. So you can see I used According to Allie stickers, which by the way, I am an affiliate. So if you use Gen 10 when you shop anything from her store, you can save yourself 10% and it helps me out a little bit. And I would greatly appreciate any support you're able to give me. I always have direct links in my description box to her shop. And I also put a direct link to her mini stickers because those are amazing and I'm obsessed with them. I also have linked in my Amazon storefront lots of the everyday tools that I use, some of my favorites for planning and journaling. So I have my mild liners in there. I've got like certain tapes and pens and things like that if you're curious. Anyways, I was using this side to keep track of my habits, but since I use my wellness planner for that, I decided to stop doing that at some point, maybe not till July. So you might see this for the rest of June. More According to Allie stickers. These are gorgeous. Absolutely love the colors, and the colors all on the page. It just makes me feel like bright and happy. And I think it's kind of fun how colors can do that when you're looking at a planner. I've got a bunch of different quotes here. It was Father's Day week. And then for the rest of this week, it was, since this video went up on Father's Day, I used this week to be my Father's Day spread, if you will. My husband loves baseball, so I did a baseball spread using According to Allie's stickers. And then this is Doodlebug Design Washi, and this is just a random washi I had from, I think, Amazon, to be honest. I use mild liners on this page, and I am obsessed with my Pigma Micron pens right now. These that I got a few weeks ago, I've used to use them all the time, and then I stopped. I was obsessed with gel pens, and then I was obsessed with fountain pens, and I still am obsessed with all those things, but my current obsession are these Microns. So I think they're in my Amazon storefront, but you can get them at Michael's, or I think even Target has them, Walmart, things like that. I really like them because I like the no smear effect, and that's kind of an issue for me because I do like doing these longer lines, and you really can't do that with a fountain pen, I've noticed anyway. If you have some sort of tip or trick for that, let me know. Love this one. This is another Audrey Okia sticker sheet. I am obsessed with her aesthetic, so her like doodly watercolory vibes I love. So this was really fun to put together. More Doodlebug Design Washi, and then just her stickers, and then I'm using mild liners and various pens. This was a very busy week. You can see I did a lot of writing in here. This was our last week of school. And then we're going to go into July. So going into my dailies, I have my landing page, which keeps all of my ING things I'm reading, watching, planning, eating, loving, and trying. So for June, it was a lot of books. One Day, Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This, Good Girl, Bad Blood, How the Word Is Passed, The Midnight Library, As Good as Dead, Julie Chan is Dead, The Handmaid's Tale, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Count My Lies, and The Huntress. Lots of books. Watching Andor Season 2, The Four Seasons, Love on the Spectrum, Leo, and How to Train Your Dragon. Planning playdates, Week in the Life, summer trips, Disney, cleaning house projects, and our America Party. Eating protein coffee shakes, mixed nuts, lots of protein, salmon, Dutch udder, and iced coffee. Loving subbing with Dom, he's the best. New work friends, Sunshine, and Nora slowly growing up. Trying to lose weight and figure out perimenopause, to participate in Week in the Life for the first time, and to keep up with content. Finding an in-network dental office, which I have done. So this was leftover bits from the journaling bits, I think it's called, from Coffee Monster Co. And I loved using the little mini washi strips to act as like bullet points for what I needed to get done this day. I doodled Nora's she got her MetaQuest this day. My allergies were insane and I didn't feel well, so I stayed home. Here I'm using mild liners on these pages, and then I think this is a zebra brush pen. Let's see, still having a lot of allergies. Nora was like reading Dogman to me a lot. We watched Andor together, and I used the nebulizer. This was during Week in the Life, so this is going to be redundant probably if you followed me for Week in the Life. Morning struggles. Let's see. I'm not feeling great, but working. And I was in the older kids self-contained classroom this day. It was leg day for workouts. I was very impressed I did it because I didn't feel well, and I came home after work and still did it. I got a new, let's see. Oh, I was supposed to get a new crown, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I did get a new crown, and it was kind of painful because I didn't do Novocaine for this because it was just like the permanent part, so some of it was a little bit sensitive. This is when I was researching all about like perimenopause and switching up my wellness and how I'm approaching my like exercise routine and what I've been eating. Talking about how Week in the Life is really daunting. I said my friend Sabrina Poole said it best. It's like jumping into a cold river. Yep, that's very, very accurate. And then I had to use the Navage 4 times and the nebulizer because I still am having allergy issues. Let's see. These are Tech brush pens and random bits of washi. I got my Happy Meal, my mini sticker order from According to Allie. Nora and I treated ourselves to Starbucks and both didn't feel great after school, so we were like, let's get a treat because it's 90 degrees. And it was disgusting in the school. My coworker, who is the head teacher in the younger grade self-contained classroom, had her water break at work the day before. I wasn't there. I don't work Tuesdays. So she obviously was out for the rest of the year, and she ended up delivering her baby Bennett that evening, Wednesday evening. So I said, welcome, baby Bennett. And then I was notified that I was going to get to work in the classroom with Dom for the rest of the week, which was exciting. I did an allergy update talking about how I've been doing the Navage a lot, and I think without that I would have gotten as sick as I maybe did in April, but I attacked it like right away. Like Sunday when I started feeling allergy symptoms, I was like, let's do the Navage. And so I credit that with getting me better quicker. We had a torrential downpour. That was crazy. And then I talked about how it was disgustingly sweaty and hot in the school. And thank God I'm in a classroom with Dom, who also loves the air conditioning blasting. The gym was disgusting. There were no fans or windows or air conditioning, and it was just stagnant, humid heat. It was like a sauna. Terrible. This was also the day Nora's teacher came into the classroom I was in and was like, did you get my texts? And I didn't, because I had left my phone in my purse, and I had to take Nora home early because she was feeling weak and shaky and dizzy, and her temperature was a little elevated. And I was like, oh, well, she's really sunburned because they've been outside for hours at recess. Now remember, the day before was 90. So again, we have like another 94-degree day, and they're outside at recess without water, and she didn't have sunscreen on. I said, she's got heat exhaustion. So I brought her home on my lunch break, set her up on the couch. It was around 12:30, so it was like towards the end of the day. And I gave her Gatorade and some oranges and water, and I told her just to chill out till Daddy could get home, or me coming home from work, whoever could get there first. And it was one of the first times we left her alone, and she did fine. She just laid around and watched TV, and she felt much better. When I got home, she was sleeping, and she felt completely fine after that. A really tough day at work. With the kids just being really, really extra wild. There was a lot of confusion with, like, the kindergarten had their moving up. Was it moving up? No, it was kindergarten orientation this day. So for the gen ed classes, they had a half day so that the incoming kindergarten classes could like tour. And our class is not gen ed, obviously. So our kiddos did not have a half day. And a lot of the kids were thrown off because the bus drivers told their parents that they would have a half day when they actually didn't. And so it was just very upsetting for our kiddos, very dysregulating. Then, luckily, it was Friday. Dom and Darcy, my coworkers, came over, and I wrote Taco Bell fiasco because I went to get us all Taco Bell, and then they had only given us half the order. I had to go back up, and then the girl didn't believe me because I left the food at home with, Dom and Darcy and Nora. And so I was like, oh, Dom, send me a screenshot, show me, like, so I could show her what we actually got. And then she was like, oh, my bad, and made the rest of the meal. It was a whole thing. Plus it was pouring rain, so that was not fun. So, but it was nice to have Dom and Darcy over. That was really fun. It rained like all day Saturday. I was exhausted. I did receive my Sterling Ink Happy Mail, which is exciting. Matt made a really good salmon dinner for us. I cleaned the house, and Nora had her friend Corey over. And then on Sunday, here I did some stamping with Coffee Monster Coast stamps, and the ink I use is the Chubgirl black ink. I got this from Jet Pens, I believe. It doesn't bleed through much on this paper, so I like to use it. So at church, we addressed like what was going on with Callie and all the ICE raids and the detainments and all of that. And then, let's see. Oh, this was the day we discovered a new taco place downtown, which was delicious. We got Dutch Otter for ice cream, dessert. Nora played on her VR. Matt took a nap, and I worked on Week in the Life. And then Matt and I just started watching the Four Seasons this night, which we both loved. I was not ready to go back to work Monday again. And I love this little illustration from Hands Off My Dinosaur, the little calendar I have. So it's like Megalodon, Blue Whale, and then Monday. Matt and I were both grumpy and short-tempered with each other for no reason, probably just tired. I ordered a new cat fountain for the kitties. They love it. Shout out to Linda because her cat has it and loves it, and my cats love it too. There was some Ferris wheel press ink drama that was brought to my attention, so I journaled about that. And today was a better day with work, and I was glad I got to work with Dom as usual. Random stickers. I took all of my like loose stickers that I had just sitting around. These were all on like a washi roll given to me by Linda and Jen, so I put them on these pages. This is just sticker release paper. You can get these binders and these sticker release papers on Amazon. These were all the stickers I had left from Laurel, Denise that were books. I still have to organize all my stickers, like for sure. I have a lot of that to do. I might get to that this week or next week. I tried to put like drinks and food together, and then this one is supposed to be like all spring stickers, summer, fall, winter, school, dance, and Nora, smiley faces. These are just random, like animals and stuff like that. Birthday, then like some random, just random icons and things, and then exercise stickers. And that's all I have so far. Then I have a bunch of these little tiny icon stickers in the back. But yeah, I have like so much sticker organizing to do because I have all of my like according to Allie stickers, and then I used to be on all these rep teams like Caitlin Plans, Eau Claire's Creations, Martinez Sticker Company, and Lupita Design, what was her? LPTG Creates, that was her sticker shop. She doesn't have anymore. And so I have to like combine all of them, and I need to sort them by category. Plus I have a zillion sticker sheets from when I did the BFF sticker challenges. So I want to combine all of them into like not by company, but by like content. Hopefully that makes sense. So like all the exercise stickers, all the stickers that are related to, you know, cats, stationary stickers, that type of thing. And that I probably need to do within the next couple weeks. Let me know if you want to see a video of me organizing stickers. I don't really know how exciting that would be because it would mostly just be to music, but feel free to comment below. Anyways, so that's what these were using. Lots of little like random stickers. So Nora had her 2 teeth extracted this day. She was a champ. She didn't even cry. She was super brave, but the recovery we were very ill prepared for, and there was just, her mouth bled for like 2 hours. It was crazy. I started doing Sure Thing yesterday, and I really liked the program. I got my hair done, and I got Nora some boba beforehand. She took a bath and relaxed. She was in a ton of pain, up all night. It was awful. She ended up staying home. I went to work, and Matt stayed home with her for a while. I talked about being intimidated, about week in the life. Some work shenanigans, planning our America party. I went to, I think Nora went to work today, or went to school today, this day. Yeah, she did, because we went to Five Below and Walmart after to buy Thomas the Train gifts for one of my kiddos. And we realized while we were out and about that she had a telehealth appointment we almost forgot about, so we were able to call her on our way home, and Nora was able to get her therapy session in. Fun Friday. Oh, one of my students tried pushing me down the stairs and kept attacking me. That was not fun. I was exhausted with Nora being up all night complaining about her tooth pain. Our friends had a party in their backyard that we went to. We celebrated my student's birthday, gave him his gifts, and then I surprised Nora's class with ice cream. This was also the day of the No Kinks protest, so I put all of these like little memes on here. This was from Brianna Doodles. America is not a country of the cowardly. We are a country built by the immigrant, the refugee, the enslaved, and all those who rose up in resistance. This one was from, oh my gosh, what's her name? It might be Oh Happy Danny. I could be wrong. But anyway, put these in here on sticker paper. I printed them out. I love doing my day in emojis. So I had like wake and scroll, kitty snuggles. Matt left for men's breakfast. I did my exercises. I cleaned the house. I did my journaling. Listening to audiobooks. Everyone took showers, and then we watched Love on the Spectrum. I chipped my front right tooth on opening mail this day, and it's been an ongoing fiasco ever since. It's Father's Day, so there's a picture of us at the top of the summit. And I lost my father 6 years ago, I think. So I just wrote "Miss You, Daddy," and then I put this little card in here from Coffee Monster Co. How my day is going. That's not guacamole. It's wasabi. So the nacho was like, oh no. So yeah, that was the day that I was having, because I took her to get her teeth extracted, and then she was a mess. Here's another doodle. Love your neighbor as yourself. I wrote, it's not that hard. So she went, I took her for her 3 more teeth getting extracted, and then I brought her home and had to go get my chipped tooth fixed. My roses bloomed, which was very exciting. The next day, I treated myself to some Starbucks, edited some Week in the Life content, and then my chipped tooth filling fell out the next day, just sitting here. This is me talking about getting old and going to a specialty doctor, which was a private matter, so I'm not going to discuss that. But it was awful. The next day, we're talking about how broke I am because I had to get my crown replaced not that long ago, which was a couple $1,000s since our dentist is out of network. And then with my tooth falling out again, my dentist talked about I might need to get a veneer, which is thousands of dollars. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I need to find an in-network dentist, which I did get on a list with an in-network dentist, but our cleanings are not until November and December. So anyway, there was that. I had a crappy day this day. I only slept 4 hours, and Nora kept coming in and waking me up. Let's see. I went back and got my tooth fixed again. So twice to the dentist. He didn't charge me, obviously, but 2 times to the dentist in a week for me and once for Nora. And then meanwhile, she's got all this tooth pain. It was Juneteenth. Nora's starting to feel a little bit better by this time. She had her friend over for a play date. I was working on Week in the Life, and I just copied this little timeline here from one of the memes I found on Instagram. This was colorathon day at school. Just exhausted. I wrote, Nora kept getting out of bed and staying up late. She'd start crying and whining and not being able to settle down. I think I screamed at her at one point, and she started crying more because of that. It was like hours that she was awake. I want to say it was like an hour and a half. We ended up calling my friend at home to pray with us about Nora's sleep. We got Chipotle. We watched Love on the Spectrum. This was Planner Bestie Meetup Day. Nora did sleep great after that. After the prayer and everything, she slept from 10 to 8 o'clock, thank God. I surprised Nora with boba after I'd been out with Linda and Jen. It was such a fun day, so I took this little cutout from the pamphlet, and Jen came up to us, and we went to the farmer's market, and then we got some lunch, and we walked around to bookstores and had tea, and we got iced coffees, and it was just such a fun afternoon together. Then I came home and I worked on the gardening. We had tacos for dinner. I worked on Week in the Life. I'm starting to get the hang of it, the formula at this point. I got some happy mail from Soft Paper Studios, which I have yet to share with you guys. Nora drew me a little koala, so cute. Went to church. I did chores and filmed and listened to my audiobook and talked about how crazy it is that our school district did not decide to go to half days for the next couple days because of the heat index. It was 98 degrees and we had a full day of school. And also the afternoon, they do their end of the year slideshow where the parents come. So we're all crowded in this gym, the whole school and parents, with fans, sure, but no air conditioning. And it was 98. It was insane. I wrote, my face is melting off. Let's see. Matt and I started Love on the Spectrum season 2. We're obsessed. We're already almost done with season 3 at this point. And then that was at the end of the night because we took Nora up to meet her friend Dom, and Matt met us there too to see Elio. It was like a benefit of being museum members. They had like a private screening for us, which was really fun. This was the day that one of my students was covered in his own feces, and I won't talk in depth about it. I don't want to get anybody sick, but it was insane. So I journaled all about that. It was the most disgusting thing ever. I worked on my Week in the Life project and talking about how hot it's been, going for a swim in our neighbor's pool. This was field day at school. I didn't even work out because I ended up participating in like 5 different tug-of-war sessions and like got such a workout. I was sore for days. Nora and I went shopping for end of the year gifts for the teachers and getting all the gift cards. And then that night I put like all their gifts together. And this was their last half day and my last day of work. So we brought, that's her teacher. We gave him his book, If You Give Your Teacher a Cookie. That's her teacher assistant. We gave her some gift cards and treats. We also did like the lunch ladies, the gym coaches, and her school counselor. Oh, so I took Nora and her friend to lunch. And then we went to see How to Train Your Dragon. I got them fake nails and I did their nails when we got back. The last day of school was an hour and a half long. Nora gave us her report card. She got all A's. We were so proud of her. I went to a teacher party and Nora went to a block party, which I met up with her and stayed at for a while later. Then my tooth filling fell out again. So this is when I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And he was like, you need a veneer. And so I started freaking out about how are we going to pay for this veneer? Because he said it would be like $2,000 something for one veneer. We took Nora to dinner. Then we got dessert. We took her to Ulta. She did some shopping because of her report card. And then, let's see. I'm just talking about how I love the slow pace of summer. We went swimming at our next door neighbor's house. There's a picture of them. Nora needed new bathing suits because she was going to the water park the next day with her friend, and the one we got her is just a tad big and the bottoms fell off sometimes. So we were like, she already had anxiety about going to this birthday party without me. It was at an, like I said, indoor water park, and she doesn't like to do things without me there. So we were like, well, I guess we got to get her some bathing suits that will fit. So we went shopping, and then we got dinner, and I trimmed the hedges. That's how I spent my morning, trimming the hedges, getting ready to prep the outside. Normally that's something I would do like in the spring, but I'm deathly allergic to like everything in the spring, so I can't. And by the time I'm able to go outside and do it, it's terrible. It takes me hours and sometimes a couple of days just to do it all. Then this day, Nora went to the water park and ended up having a great time. And Matt and I cleaned out our shed. We also ordained 4 pastors. So now our church is a 5-pastor church, which is very exciting. And then the first day, true day of summer vacation, Nora was like complaining about being bored and I almost killed her. So that was my mood. I listed our wooden swing set for free on the marketplace, and I had like so many people say they were coming and not come. I was so annoyed. I must have had 40 messages. Eventually we did end up getting rid of it, but it took like, I don't know, 5 people saying they were coming and then not coming before someone actually did. It was really frustrating. We took a little break and swam at our next door neighbor's house, and that is the end of the month. Whew, it was a lot. I love these pages though. I love using a combination of stickers and washi and getting to use all my pens. Usually I'm using my mild liners and my Rare Tech brush pens. Sometimes a Tombow, but not usually. my micron pens, my gel pen, or my fountain pens. And yeah, just like my washi stash. Lots of Coffee Monster Co. stickers too. Let me know if you have questions. It was a lot. I appreciate you like spending the time to listen to me ramble and go over my life this past month. It was a full month. So if you have questions about products, anything that I talked about in here, I'm an open book. You can ask away, leave me a comment or DM me on Instagram. Please support me if you can by shopping any of my affiliate links. It's greatly appreciated and it helps the channel. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss other content. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, friends. Remember that you are enough and have a great rest of your day. Love you so much. Bye.